cracking, my lords and ladies? It's Ryan Creates, and in today's video I'll be teaching you guys glitches that you can still do in Dark Souls 3, and this is going to be on the current patch of 1.15.2, which was last updated in 2023. We have quite a bit of glitches and exploits to get into, so let's start right now. First on the list is going to be a Gyunder cheese. What we can do is we can actually attack Gyunder outside of the fog gate. This is very good for certain challenge runs such as a bow only run, and we're going to be teaching you guys how to do it. First off, you're obviously going to need to pull the coiled sword from Xundex Gyunder. Right when you do that, you are going to quit out. Then once you load back in, you're going to be outside the boss arena and you're going to walk back in until you see Gyunder start to get up. When that happens, we're going to walk outside the arena past where the fog gate usually spawns. And if you wait enough, you'll see that the fog gate ends up spawning. When this happens, Gyunder is going to be trying to attack you through the fog gate. Here's where you want to get out your fire bombs, the black fire bombs, which you can also pick as your starting gift, by the way. And you're going to throw those until he goes into phase 2. Once he becomes the Puss of Man, if you're using a bow build, which is going to be very helpful, you can actually shoot the Puss of Man easily through the fog gate and get an easy kill. Although black fire bombs do the job a lot faster. Next up is an exploit. Make your way up to the right hand corner, there is a tower, which usually you have to pay 20,000 souls in order to enter. However, there's a specific part of it that we can actually access by doing a jump. Once you run up to the top of the tree, you are now going to go directly to the right and make a jump. That is going to land you onto the roof, and there you can pick up some very nice early game goodies, such as bone hards, bone shards, and Estus Flash shard, being able to trade with Snuggly the Crow. And if you make your way down, there's also the Covenant Silver Serpent Ring, which gives you extra souls when you kill enemies. A pretty nice start to Dark Souls 3. Next up is Vort Death Cam Skip. As the name suggests, we're going to be skipping Vort Arboreal Valley by using the Death Cam. Now, before we pull off this skip, what's very important is that you do initiate Vort's boss battle first. In order to do this, we're going to have to make our way past the giant Puss of Man dude on the rooftops, down to the position where the archers are at. From there, we're going to get to 100% equipment load, and we're going to get forward to this plank here, and we're going to make a drop off to the right. It has to be pretty specific. Some people will try to point it towards a certain spot on the wall where there's a crack right next to the wood and then start doing back steps at 100% equipment load. That works too, but I found it to be a little bit easier to do with just lining yourself up at the end of the plank and just doing a heavy 100% equipment load step forward. This should drop you down. And from here, we're going to get out our bow and we're going to aim it at the fence post right here at this X. And then once we lined it up here, we're going to do a 100% equipment load back step, which is going to take us down here. Now the camera's going to be facing up and we're going to get to under 75% equipment load. Once you've done that, you're going to backstep again and you're going to go into death cam mode. Do not worry, you will make it. So once you've done that, the controls are going to be a little bit janky here. So the community calls these tank controls when we're in death cam mode. And what you essentially have to do is just work your way around the controls by moving your controller stick around to go in the direction you want. And you're going to make your way all the way down to Vort Arboreal Valley. As you guys can see, A2's model here does disappear. That's completely fine. All you have to do is make your way past the fog gate where Vort usually would be at. And then we are going to quit out and load back in. If you've done this correctly, you'll be on the other side of the fog gate arena where the door is still locked, and then you can make your way over to the gargoyles to show up your banner and go down to the undead settlement. Now for the Crystal Sage skip. I think the Crystal Sage can be a little bit of a nuisance at times, but I personally believe this skip is just not worth it. What you have to do for Crystal Sage skip is make your way to the left side of the arena with the fog gate, and you're going to do a jump from the other side of the door and make your way up onto this area. From there, you're going to be sharply jumping to the right, and you're going to be trying to jump up onto the top of the pillar wall. This is very difficult to do, only because there's a high chance that once you do make your way up there, you're going to fall and clip inside the wall, and you're going to be stuck there. If this unfortunately happens, which it probably will, you are going to have to either homeward bone out, use a dark sign, or just save and quit and go back in. However, if you get it correctly, you just have to roll to the left-right side, and then you're going to roll 4 times into this giant tree stump structure, and then you're going to roll to the left to skip the sage. But we do have another boss skip with the Abyss Watchers, and it is the Abyss Watchers AI Break. Not necessarily skip, but the boss's AI does get disabled in phase 1 and 2, so basically it's a free kill. In order to do this, make sure you have a weapon that's equipped with the longsword moveset, and you're going to be doing a heavy attack into the boss battle. But before you do this, make sure that you make a backup of your save, because you only get one shot at this per playthrough, because once you've done this, unfortunately, the fog gate's going to go up and you're not going to be able to do this again. So make sure you back up your save. So what we have to do is you're going to line yourself up with this rock here on the ledge, and we're going to tiptoe forward as far as you can, and then you are going to do a charged R1 heavy attack. If you do this correctly, as soon as the boss fight happens, you're going to quit out. And then upon going back in, you should be inside the boss arena, and the boss's AI should be completely disabled, allowing you to kill them. Now, if you get this done incorrectly, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be stuck inside the fog gate. If this happens, you're unfortunately going to have to restart. There's no other way around it. Usually that means you didn't get close enough when initiating the boss battle. Next up, we're going to make our way down to the smoldering lake to the giant electric worm that we can use the ballista to kill. Now, this worm can be very intimidating to fight, so we're instead going to cheese him with the ballista. What we have to do is make our way to this position here, and we have to do a type of crouching emote to get down. That way we don't get hit by the giant ballista bolts. What's actually going to happen is the ballista bolts are going to start hitting the worm and actually kill it instead, giving us a free easy kill. So for this next boss exploit, we're going to need the Pestilent Mist. Once you guys have that, you can make your way over to the High Lord Wolnir boss battle, and we're going to do an easy exploit on him to where Wolnir can't even move a muscle, or a bone in this case. What we have to do is, without triggering the boss battle, we have to walk up to the right hand of Wolnir, and we're going to use Pestilent Mist. If it's close enough, it'll actually start to damage Wolnir, and Wolnir will not activate because we aren't close enough to him. So Wolnir will actually stay put and let his health dwindle away as we just keep putting on Pestilent Mist. And there you go. Now for the 0 damage Sacred Flame glitch. In order to pull this off, you're gonna need to have both Sacred Flame and the Lightning Bow spell, along with 35 faith to even cast Lightning Bow, and enough attunement slots to have them both equipped at the same time. You're also going to want to make sure you have your talisman in your right hand and your bow in your left. From here, in order to pull up the glitch, you need to press and hold L2 to be casting Lightning Bow, and then we're going to backstep, and immediately upon backstepping, you're going to go into your inventory and swap out your talisman for a parrying shield. Once you've exited your menu, you're going to press up on your D-pad to have the Sacred Flame out, and now we are going to backstep yet again, but as you're backstepping, press and hold up on your analog stick and L2. This is going to now have you cast both your bow and your lightning arrow at the same time. Now, unfortunately, you're going to have to walk up very slowly to an enemy, and if you've done it correctly, upon releasing, this is going to end up doing the Sacred Flame animation. And as the name suggests, it does 0 damage. However, it's very helpful for a certain TearDrop skip you can do in Profane Capital to be able to walk from that area into Pontiff Sullivan's arena, and then trigger the elevator to bring Pontiff Sullivan down, and then back up to have him fight invaders in the usual PvP hotspot. Unfortunately, I don't have any friends to be able to do that with, so I'm just going to link Phobia's video down below. You can check him out in his video if you're interested, but it is going to involve doing this glitch for that teardrop. So now for spell swap. Very similar to the bow Sacred Flame we just performed, what we're going to be doing here instead, you're going to need a spell that you can cast and a spell that you don't have the parameters to cast yet. And we're going to be able to use that spell early with this pretty quick method. So we need to have the bow in our left hand and our catalyst or our staff in our right hand. So I'm going to have out my Farron Dart, and I'm going to use a spell like usual, but then I'm going to roll forward, and then I'm going to press up on my D-pad to switch to my unusable spell, and then I'm going to press and hold L2 along with up on the forward analog stick, and that is going to allow me to cast the Crystal Soul Spear, as you guys can see right here. It's super epic, and it can be done so quickly. I'm sure this can have application in challenge runs, but you guys are going to have to let me know in the comment sections below. Now, just like spell swap, we can also do buff swap, which allows us to buff unbuffable weapons. To do this, what we need to do is, just like before, have our spell that we can cast, and then have our buff. We're going to have our catalyst in our right hand, our bow in our left, and we're going to use, for this case, force, roll forward, spam cast force again, open up our inventory, swap to our non-buffable weapon, go and exit menu. Now we're going to toggle to our Dark Moon Blade. We're going to press back, and immediately we're going to hold up on our left analog stick and press and hold L2, and that's going to allow us to buff that unbuffable weapon. And as you guys can see here, we have a Dark Infused Farron Greatsword. Pretty cool. Now what's interesting is that if you do this with other types of spells, generally their effect will go away, but for some reason the Way of White Corona actually still stays and you have these spinning rings that are around the area. So pretty cool to know. But it will require you to use Great Combustion to actually see this. Any other type of spell for some reason won't let this effect stay. Now for the Dancer of Boreal Valley. The Dancer of the Boreal Valley is one of the toughest bosses in the game, especially for new players, and I can understand why you might want to wait to cheese or skip this boss. So in order to cheese the Dancer of Boreal Valley, what you're going to need is a bow and enough arrows, and to be in a specific position at the fog gate. Basically, you need to be as far away from the fog gate as you can possibly be while still being close enough to enter it. Once you get that option up to be able to traverse the fog, we're going to press that, and immediately upon going into the fog gate, you're going to want to be spamming the backstep button. If you do this correctly, you'll end up backstepping, and then the Dancer's boss bar will not appear on the screen. That's how you know you did correctly. Then aim and zoom in with your bow and start shooting at the Dancer. If the Dancer doesn't do anything, just lets you shoot away at her, you've done this correctly. And that's it. Go ahead and take out the Dancer with a nice fair amount of headshots. So there's a jump we can do in Irythll Valley that we go off of a stairs over a railing, I guess you will call it, and then you'll drop down into this place. To do this, get to the same exact position in Irythll Valley right before the circular place with all of the ghost dudes and the pyromancer man, and you're going to get up against this wall here and you're going to be at a full sprint, and then you're going to move forward and you're going to double jump off of the third stair down. This should end up taking you over the railing and dropping down into this glitch section. Once you're here, just follow exactly where I go, just follow my steps. You can fall down though, so be careful of that, but you're gonna make your way around and into the swamp. And once you're in the swamp, you've done it. Next up is the Aldritch Ai Break. This is exactly like the Dancer of Boreal Valley. For the Dancer of Boreal Valley boss fight, we could not walk into the boss arena, that's why we had the bow. But for Aldritch, we can. So what we have to do is exactly like the Dancer. We have to be far enough away from the fog gate to where we can backstep, disabling the AI, but still close enough to where we can traverse the fog. So just like before, we're going to enter the fog gate. Halfway through it, you are going to be spamming your backstep button, and bada bing, bada boom, you're able to disable Aldrich's AI and get an easy kill on him. Now for the DragonSlayer armor's out of fog kill exploit, or technically it is a glitch. This is going to require you to be on online play and have a way to invade other worlds, so keep that in mind before you do this. Also, you will need Pestilent Mist or else you are going to be getting hammered quite a bit. So the first thing you need to do is invade a world. Now, what is very important here is while you're waiting for the world to invade, you need to wait until it says that you are invading another world. So what you have to do first when you're at the fog gate is invade another world. It'll bring up the usual prompts as usual, but the one you're waiting for is the one that says that you're invading another world as a dark spirit. When you're getting this one and you're about to go into the other world, enter into the fog gate and go through to the other side, and make sure that the DragonSlayer armor's boss bar appears on the bottom of the screen before you go into the other world. If it does, then you've done it correctly. Now, once we're in the host world, we're actually going to black crystal back to our world, and then upon going back to our world, the DragonSlayer armor is actually going to be running up on us and trying to attack us. This is great. This is exactly what we want to happen. Now, as everything goes according to plan, just like Wolnir, we're going to get our Pestilent Mist and put it towards the fog gate, making sure that it damages the DragonSlayer's armor. And yeah, you're just going to keep doing that until he's dead. It's that simple. Next up is a glitch we can do with the Milwood Great Bow. If you guys don't know, that is the giant Greatbow that does the explosion weapon art that you get in the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. You will need that and Milwood Great Arrows before attempting this. I'm pretty sure this can be done on almost any boss that is in the arena before you enter it and has a fog gate up. Essentially, we are going to be doing the Milwood Great Bow weapon art and shooting the arrow into the fog gate. What's actually interesting about this is that the Milwood Great Bow arrow might be stuck in the fog gate, but its explosion counterpart is shooting still through into the arena and is blowing up, doing damage to whatever enemies are around it. We're going to be taking advantage of this with Lorian, but unfortunately, it's only going to last so long, as after about 30% of the way down, Lorian is actually going to be unhittable and his AI is going to be killed for phase 1. And there's no way to do some phase 2 either. So what you have to do is line up your crosshairs and be doing your weapon art. Then you're going to shoot the arrow into the fog gate, and the explosion is actually going to go into the same spot where it usually would if you shot it, completely ignoring the fog gate and explode around Lorian. You'll know because Lorian is going to get damaged and it'll move a little bit. You're going to keep doing this until he goes down to 35%. Also, it's worth mentioning you may need to aim your shooting reticle down a little bit to be able to hit him, or else you might go up too high. Now, we could go ahead and use the Milwood Great Bow glitch on the Soul of Cinder. Or you could go ahead and use the 10-round barrage repeating crossbow Milwood Great Bow glitch to basically have a machine gun in Dark Souls 3. Okay, to perform this glitch, you're going to need to have your bow in your left hand, and above it, your repeating crossbow in your right. You are going to also need to have Milwood Great Arrows and bolts to fire your weapons as well. Once you've done this, just like in Spell Swap, we're going to two-hand the repeating crossbow, and we're going to do the weapon art like usual with the L2. Then we're going to immediately swap to the Milwood Great Bow, and we're going to exit our inventory, and then we're going to backstep, and immediately upon backstepping, we're going to hold up on our analog stick and press an old L2. That is going to immediately send us into the machine gun animation. And there you guys go. You can do this on any boss. Now, we're going to be moving on to the only teardrop glitch you can do on the game solo. This can be done at the Archdragon Peak to get a cool look around. And this is actually pretty easy to pull off too. All you need to do is go into the Ancient Wyvern, or is it Wyvern? Whatever. Either way, you're going to go into that boss arena and you're going to apply your Tears Denial. Then you're going to go and run to the right side of the arena right here and wait for the Ancient Wyvern to appear. Now, once he starts to do his fire breath, we're going to get up onto this ledge here and we're going to do a jumping R2 attack straight forward, and we're going to land on top of his head to get an easy, fast kill. The community's known about this for quite some time, interestingly enough. But once that's done, you're going to go running to the edge straight forward, and you're going to wait until you see the item obtained. Once that happens, you're going to click out at, and you're going to run forward and do a double jump off of the cliff and do a midair weapon art. Then you'll probably end up dying, but that's okay, because if you've done it correctly and it shows you having the cutscene, if you go into this new area, it'll show you in teardrop form. That's how you know that you've done this glitch correctly. Now, unfortunately, this does lock you into this area, as there's nowhere else to go in teardrop form like in the other areas of the game. So you are locked to Archdragon Peak, so you're going to have to either die or just back up your save and then go back in and do it as usual. So there actually is a way to respec in the Rosaria's Finger Covenant without having to spend any Pale Tongues. Now, do not misunderstand, this doesn't mean that you're going to have infinite respecs per playthrough, because they're still only limited to 5 by what I know, but all you have to do is just respec like usual, and immediately once you're done with the respec, when it brings back up the selection screen menu, you're going to Alt F4 your game. Now on console, don't unplug your console, please don't do that. What you need to do instead is actually go to your switcher if you're on PlayStation 4 and then just X out a game like that. Then once you go back in, you'll notice that not only have you respec'd, but you also still have that Pale Tongue. You are going to need at least one Pale Tongue to do this, by the way, but if you don't want to spend your Pale Tongues for whatever reason, there is this option. Now next up is just this tiny little exploit that's going to allow you to run with infinite stamina using the FAP ring. All you have to do is be sprinting, bring up your menu, and then go to your FAP ring and equip and unequip it at the same time. This is essentially resetting your stamina, giving you infinite stamina for sprinting. Many players do it in PvP and invading sessions, and it's pretty cool that it's still in the game and you can do it. Now for the one you've been waiting for. You've seen me do this many times on the channel before, and it's Infinite Titanite Slabs glitch. And technically Infinite Souls and Armor as well, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So for this, we are going to need to progress Siegwitz of Katarina's questline. First, you're going to make your way to the Undead Settlement, and you're going to go to the usual elevator place on the tower where you meet Siegwitz. You're going to go down, he's going to go up, then you're going to go up again and have to go up one more time, and you're going to make the jump onto the wooden planks platform. There you're going to fight off a Fire Sage demon, help out Siegwitz. Afterwards, you're going to have a toast, maybe have a little nap, and then you're going to make your way over to the Cathedral of the Deep. At the Cathedral of the Deep, you're going to have to open up the 2 giant blue doors opposite of the other side of Rosaria's Finger Chamber. After this, Patches is going to have stolen his armor set. Siegwitz is going to be inside the well right outside the chapel bonfire. From here, if you guys go back to Firelink Shrine and buy the tower key, you can actually use that tower key at the tower, go up the elevator, fall for Patches' trap, make your way down, or you could just homeward bow Mac to the Firelink Shrine, and then go up to the right hand corner back to where the tree skip was to go and confront Patches. There you can buy back his shield and his armor. Although the armor is the only important part, make sure you buy all 4 pieces. From there, we're going to go back to the well and drop the armor down, and for some reason, heavy armor allows him to get out of a well. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that happens, and we can make our way over to Irythll Valley, over into the room after the feces throwing spider women. I don't know what the heck they're called, but we're going to go there, get ourselves a nice spell, have ourselves some Estus soup, and of course do another toast with Secrets of Katarina. Once you've done that, you're going to make your way into the Irythll dungeon, and there's going to be a jailer key you can pick up in the tunnel with the rats all the way down to the right in a chest. The other one is a mimic, so do be careful of that as well. But once you've done that, now we have to make our way into the profane capital, and down the ladder up the stairs there's going to be a jump you can do to go into the jail room where Sigvart is at. Now you're going to open up the jail cell, and this is very important, listen up here, do not talk to Sigvart. We are going to instead kill him. You can use a dark hand with the soul suck ability if you want to do that, or you could just smash him down in 2 hits like I did with a great hammer, whichever one you prefer. Just make sure you do not talk to him. From here, he's going to drop his items. This is important. Do not pick them up. What we are going to be doing here is something very similar to what we do in Bloodborne to dupe the fire and Volt paper. Volt paper? Anyways, so what we have to do is run from Sigvart's cell all the way up to the Church of Yorshka, and then back down to duplicate these items. And you cannot teleport or quit out at any time. If you do, you'll have to restart all over again, especially for every duplication we do. You're going to follow the exact path I take here. If you want to use Spook, you're more than welcome to. That might help you, but ultimately just have enough Estus and be very smart with your plays. You're going to make your way all the way up to Church of Yorshka, and I will see you guys there then. Okay, so now that we're here, you guys are going to notice that there's this corpse laying on the cliff. This is going to be one of our duplication points along with the Church of Yorshka's bonfire. If you run from this corpse up to the Church of Yorshka's bonfire and then back down, this is going to unload and reload the area, and this is going to allow us to duplicate Sigvart's drops. So if you make the run from the corpse to the Church of Yorshka bonfire, back down to the corpse, this is gonna unload and reload the area, and thus duping Sigvart's NPC droppings. Now theoretically this can be done with other NPCs in the game, but Sigvart seems to be the most safest bet for this operation. And each and every single one of these boops you do, we'll say, is going to duplicate his droppings by 1. So you might want to keep track of that in case you want to keep doing this for whatever reason. So once you've done enough duplications and you're satisfied, you're now going to make your way carefully back to Sigvart's cell. I'll see you there in a bit. Now back at Sigvart's cell, what we're going to do is go to his items and start just picking them all up. You're going to see this right here on the screen right now. We've duplicated so many Titanite slabs and armor sets that we're not even going to know what to do with them all. So let's go ahead and technically get infinite souls by going back to the handmade and selling them. Now, if I'm being honest, duplicating Titanite slabs is cool and all, but to be honest, calling it infinite souls, even though it is technically that, I think you'd be better off just going to the Grand Archives and, you know, killing the 3 Winged Knights on the top of the tower. Now, I know that the infinite slabs weren't really the most effective way to get infinite amounts of Titanite slabs and Sigvart's armor set and obviously souls. So let's actually tap into that. And we're going to get some help from Dr. Tyler. Fortunately, he couldn't join us this year, so we're just going to use the theater. Well, this is very exciting.
That is indeed correct, Ren. I have returned to grant upon knowledge of others, well, the knowledge of glitches.
Dr. Tyler, it's great for you to come back once again, and this time for Dark Souls 3.
Indeed.
So, what we're going to do is essentially we're doing what we did for the Dark Souls 2 Scholar for Sin dupe, where our friend is going to have their save backed up, and we are going to be giving each other souls to duplicate. Tyler, stop it. And we are going to be duping souls. So what we're going to do is we're going to give all of our friends one soul, and then they're going to back up their save, and then they're going to reload back in. You're going to resummon them, and then you're going to give them another soul to stockpile on until you have about 5 or 6. Then you guys can give those back to your friend with the save so that they can back their save up, redupe that, give it to you, and then you keep going till you have a higher quantity. So
Indeed it is.
now where's no, thank you. 99. We've been doing this quite a bit, which is how we know. All right.
Wait a sec. I don't think I backed up my save.
Oh, then he's not.
Shit. You. Get over here, you son of a bitch.
It was an accident. They pick them up. One of you holds on to them, and then, without using them, obviously, because that's not good, you would leave them like this. They fall on the ground. You pick them up, and then you dupe them. And there you guys go. That is how to get infinite souls. That was the second option, like I promised last year. I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. And there you guys go. There are the glitches and exploits that you can still do in Dark Souls 3 as of this patch, and probably forever on. I can't imagine these ever getting patched out of the game, especially since Dark Souls 3 will most likely never have another patch update again, unless something for Elden Ring DLC changes it, or another upcoming game in the future. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys need help with anything, such as dropping, co-op, PvP, and other types of Soulsborne games, join my Discord. Link is in the description below. You guys can join up there. Go do Jolly Cooperation or duping. And yeah, that is it. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want more videos like this, and be sure to have the notification bell hit so that you never miss a video when I upload. Thank you guys again so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and until next time, peace out.